Hey everyone, my name's Carlo Libertini and thanks for watching. In this video, we're going to take a look at using Sonible's Smart EQ 2 on your rhythm section on drums and bass. Sometimes it's hard to get them both to have their own space in a mix, but still work together. And tools like the ones that Smart EQ 2 here offers us, I think, can really help get you there. So let's take a look. Now, as you can see here, I put Smart EQ 2 on my drum bus, my stereo drum bus, and on my mono bass guitar. Now, I put it on my stereo drum bus because I want to use it in a more of a corrective mode, because Sonible EQ 2 allows you to process, equalize audio in a mid-side process, which means I could actually EQ just the center frequency or the sides. And that's really great, especially when you're working with stereo tracks and you just want to edit the EQ frequency of one particular side or in the middle, like I'm about to show you in a moment here. Another thing I love about Sonible and plugins that do this is that it's completely resizable. I wish more plugins would do this. So with this now on my stereo drum bus, let's take a look. I'm going to start with what's called a profile. It's going to listen to my drums and it's going to create a unique curve for me to get started using with. And it's really easy. I just load the profile here in this section, and while the drums are playing back, we press this button here and it's going to create a unique profile for us. Much different than a preset, and you'll see that in a minute. Here we go. There. All right, and there's our EQ curve. Now, the first thing I want to point out, though, here is this option right here. This is the main strength control for what it's created for us. Now, you can look at the curve here, and now this isn't arbitrary. It's using a lot of artificial AI science, actually, to create this. I like what it did so far, and of course, I have to listen to it referencing with my other tracks. But one place I like to start is with this strength all the way down, and then I bring it up and stop when it feels right. And of course I would do this with the bass guitar, so let's bring this in as well, even though we're going to be editing that too in just a moment. Here, let's take a listen to this together so far. So I'll start down here. You can hear how there's a lot more air in the drums. Here, I like that. Okay, let me mute the bass guitar again, and let's get into some of that mid-side editing that I was talking about for a moment here. For example, let's go right here around 500-600, and I'll select this node. Now, to edit a node, just open the options window here. You can select all the parameters and the styles that you want, but in particular, I'm going to change it to a mid here, which means it's now a letter M. It's only going to affect the frequencies in the middle of the stereo mix. What do I want to do? Well, in this example, let's say I want to sweep out some honkiness from the snare. Well, I could start by raising it up, adjust my Q a little bit, and we could sweep around till we hear a little bit of that honkiness and then bring it down only from the middle channel, not the sides. And that's why this gives you such detail and a real surgical and just like really amazing how you can like really get into your audio now, and it's easy to use and fun. Let's take a listen. There, you can hear some of that honkiness already. Let's say it's about 600 right there. Now, I'll just lower the decibels and reduce it by whatever I feel sounds right. I hear a floor tom in my left ear. Let's go to this node. I'm going to put this one on side. Now, this is only going to affect the side. Let's say I wanted to boost that floor tom frequency a little bit, but only in the side. I can select that, choose the bell curve, and let's adjust our Q a little bit, and let's sweep around for that. There. All right, that wasn't too bad. So I'm quickly going through this. It's kind of the process I want to highlight here. Let's bypass the plugin and let's hear it before. I can hear that honky ringtone from the snare now without the plugin engaged. And here's with our processing. It's clearer, it's cleaner, and it sounds good. All right, now let's open up our bass guitar and do the same. Now that we know how that works, let's bring in Smarty Q2 here. And again, it's completely resizable. Let's make that a little bit bigger so we can get more love out of this screen real estate. And let's do the same thing. Why don't I start with the profile? Let's do a bass guitar, and this will give us a jump start. Okay, let's play it back and trigger this option here, and it'll listen. Wow. If you want to bypass just the profile, there's a little power switch here. Check this out. I'll toggle it off and toggle the profile on. There. And again, I often like to start with this down and bring it up to taste. There. Now, if you wanted to, you could also copy this to the A. Here you have AB, you can AB your mixes. Go to B, and you could do some further editing, and then you can switch between those. I always emphasize using AB mixes because sometimes you hear things differently when it's in conjunction with the other instruments. But for now, let's bring in our drums. Here, I'll make that small. Bring this over here, and let's bring in our drums. Now you can see I'm not doing any other further processing on these tracks at all. I did a little timing editing on the bass with Melodyne, but that was about it. And there, now we got our drums and our bass guitar here. Let's take a listen. So let's bypass the plugin and hear the original. Let's take off our profiles and everything. Let's bring everything back in. And there you have it. So this is some of the practices and principles to get started using EQ2 here on your drums and bass and your work. But as I always say, the best way is to really find out for yourself. I think we live in a good age when plugins like this are smarter than ever before, but still, it's your creativity and how you want to use them that really makes the biggest difference. So thanks for watching. My name's Carlo Libertini. Stay busy and stay creative.